Hey everyone, Brandon here. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update on what's going on in my life. So the first two things I wanted to start with were actually two new tools of the trade that I've adopted. One actually I started in July, and I've kind of just been progressing on the ways that I've used it, much like my videos have been progressing or degressing, however you want to look at it. But anyways, and that's a training log. So I have all these papers in here, and basically each day, I don't know how well you can see this, but each day that I train, I write down the workout I did, times for the workout if I'm running, weights if it's weights, try and do my best to record like an effort, like how much effort I was putting in, the difficulty of it, any kind of important things that were different in the workout, and yeah, and I do that for whether it's a strength workout or a run, like I said. It's just a good way to look back. I actually got that tip from someone else. I also write down races in here. When I've done a race, I write like what warm up I did, how many minutes I warmed up for, what my time was, how I felt afterwards. So then possibly for the next race, I could say, okay, well, warming up for 10 minutes worked really, really well. I'm going to try that again. Or, warming up for half an hour was way too much. I'm going to try and shorten that this time. So you can see I've started in July, so it's almost full now, the binder. Well, not almost full, but it's getting there. And all these stickies that you can see was actually something I've adopted in September. It's after I read an article by Steve Magnus. If you've never heard of him, he has a book called Science of Running, I believe. I haven't read it yet, but I hear from a lot of people it's really good, but he's always tweeting out really good things on Twitter if you add him there. Very scientific, kind of researched running stuff. But basically what these little sticky tabs are, every time I do a workout, basically I'll rate it on a basis of a bad workout or a loss, a neutral workout, or a win. So the theory behind this is when you look at all of these stickies, you can basically see, if there's tons of pink ones, the pink for me, I think that's pink. The pink for me is losses. The blue, I believe that is, for me is a neutral, and the yellow is a win. So you can see I don't have very many pinks. It's a good, but it's so that you can just kind of do a quick look and like, wow, I have a lot of pinks in there. Maybe I need to change something. It's a lot of lost workouts. Maybe I'm working too hard, or something's not working right, or there's a lot of yellow ones, so that means it's working really well. Or neutral is just kind of like maybe I'm on a plateau, like I need to change something. And a win doesn't necessarily mean that you won the race or something. It means that you felt strong during your workout, that you were allowed to put in, were able to put in a lot of good effort, and it worked out. Losses, you felt really terrible during the workout. You felt like it was next to impossible to do, or really demoralize you. And a neutral just kind of your everyday workout that you just kind of do, and it really doesn't have an effect on you. So that's one tool that I use. I also put all kind of training articles and stuff that I have to read in the back here, and ones that I've read in the front here as well. And I usually fill this out before I go to bed, so it's kind of just a wind down thing for me. The next tool that I've picked up is this sucker. So you remember the kind of self-massage learning healthier living episode I did. It involved the golf ball and the foam roller. Now this is kind of does the same thing as a golf ball. Use it for your feet, but it does a little more broad of an area, and kind of you don't go as hard with this thing, but it feels a lot better. You can use a rolling pin too, but I find I like the little knobby things a little better. But the golf ball is more kind of to pinpoint, right underneath your heel or up by your big toe, that kind of thing. But this just gives you a general kind of release for your feet. So next thing I wanted to talk about was a bit about my life here, that since I've moved to the city I've moved to, which is Winnipeg, and basically now I have finally gotten a new full-time job. I had a part-time job at the same place I'm working, and they offered me a full-time position, so that's great. And on one hand, that's great because it means I don't have to worry about money at the end of the month, but on the other hand, it's kind of a bit scary or nerve-wracking because now I'm walking this very fine line where I'm training all the time, but I'm also working all the time because they managed to be able to schedule me around my training days I train with the team. So basically my only off time is the days that I'm training with the team, which is fine, and it's something I can handle, but I'm walking this fine line where the choices that I make in life, and I'm sure this is for everyone, but more so the little choices I make in life, like whether to stay up late or whether to skip a meal and just eat chips, or go drinking, which I don't do, but if I did, are really going to affect me the next day, but not only the next day, but 2 days from now, and maybe even a week from now or a month from now, because I'm not going to have time to catch up. So it's a bit scary because if I make a bad choice, I'm really going to pay for it in both the short term and the long term until I can get some days of rest. So just have to stay diligent, I guess, and stay on top of stuff. So for today, I had to work out earlier than normal because they had to do some team meeting stuff afterwards. And the workout I had was, they're kind of tapering down for a race they're doing this Saturday. And for those of you who don't know, I run the 800 meters, and right now I'm kind of doing a preseason endurance-based sessions with the cross-country team, and I run more so with the girls because the mileage for the guys is too much for me at this point. Anyways, so I was able to do that earlier. I felt pretty run down, I'm not gonna lie. I worked 4 hours and then went straight to that, rushed to that workout and did it. I was able to do it. I would classify it as a neutral on my loss win neutral scale there. I was able to get through it without breaking down or anything like that, but I didn't feel strong all the way through or anything like that. So that was a neutral today. I've tweeted out a couple times if you guys are following me on Twitter, but if you're not, and I think I mentioned it before about my Hallis, I think that's how you say it, so please correct me if I'm saying it wrong. But that's, that inside of your arch there, running right along from your heel to your toe. It's getting a lot better. It's not really affecting me in workouts, but it's also really sore after workouts. So I would say overall no change on that, and it's still affecting me a little bit, because I'm still thinking about it and worried about it. So just gonna keep massaging that and stay on top of it, stretching it, and hopefully the more I take care of it, the less it will affect me, and then eventually it'll go away. So that's all I have for now. I'm not sure how often I want to do these, but like I said with the other videos, I'm just trying to fool around with here, get my bearings, and maybe I'll find something that works. But hope you guys enjoyed my update, and we'll see you next time.